league, so everybody that's on your roster shows up in the batting order. So for North Carolina, that looks like 1 through 13 with Sophie Cataruzzoli leading things off for North Carolina, and they will be facing an arm in the circle. That is Avery Cox, and Amanda, we showed you what she can do with her bat. What can she do in the circle?
Oh, she's just really strong. She has power at the plate and power in the circle. She can throw 63 to 65 miles an hour consistently, and at the regional, she had 37 strikeouts in 23 innings pitched. She can be dominant.
They will need her to do just that if Texas wants a shot at another Little League Softball World Series title.
This velocity that we're seeing, I think, is going to be the highest velocity out of any pitcher in the World Series this year. I mean, it's no joke. Sometimes you'll say 63 to 65, and then you don't really see it show up in the game. But the first 2 pitches of the game registering at 64 for Avery Cox.
Just a very talented hitting pitcher.
Which I know you both love to see.
Absolutely.
1-1 count to Cataruzzoli.
Avery Cox has curveball, fastball, and a rise ball, as well as a screwball. Her curveball, especially to the right-handed hitters, is going to be her favorite pitch, so she'll work the outside corner to them.
This one, a hopper over to short with Lindley Reen. And Cataruzzoli starts off by reaching safely. Can North Carolina continue that momentum that they built earlier today, putting up 16 runs? And Parker Mortensen went 1 for 2 this morning against Canada with a run scored and a strikeout. She's a left fielder, and she's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. That one goes off the top of the glove of Jackie Rubio, and you'll see Cataruzzoli advance on the wild pitch. Look, does it help, guys, that North Carolina's already played on this field?
Yeah, and they got the crowd behind them. The nerves are out from playing earlier today and having a really good win against Canada.
And for Texas, although the World Series started yesterday, this is their first game of the tournament. They got one of the byes.
And I think there's always nerves that first game. Doesn't matter if it's on day 1 or day 2. You're working those out the first couple innings.
Mortensen trying to show that bunt. It does get down.
And I think everything feels so new. On a field like this, you probably watched it on TV and envisioning yourself playing on this field, in this circle, in front of these fans, and it just kind of hits different once you actually step out here for the first time. It took a little bit to get comfortable.
One-two to Mortensen from Cox. And Avery Cox bouncing back with a strikeout.
Well, that's something that you guys will notice that she'll do. We saw this at the Southwest Regional. After a strikeout, she puts her sword back into her holster, do we call it? Right there, she goes from her left shoulder to her right hip. Every strikeout. That is an Avery Cox special right there for her first strikeout of the game on the screwball.
I love that. Kinsley Godwin, the catcher.
Well, and Amanda, to your point, she had some nice little movement on that screwball. It had some climb to it, had some up and out. But the sword, I'm here to watch that.
They don't call her Showtime for nothing.
That's right.
And a multi-sport athlete for Avery Cox. Volleyball, basketball, track and field, where she's a thrower, shot put and discus, and soccer, and softball.
And she's a leader, too, out there. She's not just a strong, overpowering pitcher. Even after the leadoff hitter got on base, she was communicating with the left side of the infield to her shortstop and her third baseman. Hey, you guys come in a little bit, anticipating short games. So she's somebody that has really good softball IQ. She wants to be a leader. Several of these players were intimidated by her once they first started playing by her because of just her strength and how great of a softball player she was, or she is.
She's got herself ahead once again, this time to Kinsley Godwin with a runner in scoring position.
Good job by Godwin protecting on that pitch on the outer half. It's easy to get frozen up with some good velocity.
Kinsley Godwin loves a blueberry muffin. Who doesn't? You know?
Coffee and a blueberry muffin.
I always get hungry during these games and reading the player questionnaires because it's favorite food. We're talking about all kinds of different foods, snacks.
Back to back, ring 'em up, Avery.
Goes right back to that screwball. Same location. It's a little bit up, but it's on the inner half this way with Godwin being a right-handed hitter. And that's impressive to be able to put the sword away. There you go. Good job, Avery Cox. But that's impressive to be able to throw that pitch on the inner half, not just away from lefties, but inside also to righties.
Chloe Braddock now, the third baseman, and that one's dropped by Rubio. Runner going to third, plenty of time. Sliding in is Catarazzoli. Remember, she led off this game with a single. Cox has struck out the next two.
Well, and Jackie Rubio back behind the plate is the second pitcher on this team. If Avery Cox were to get in trouble, Jackie Rubio actually is, her primary position is going to be pitcher, but she's been catching this summer, so she's new to that position. But just an interesting mix to go from being an everyday starter in the circle to then want to catch and get some time back behind the plate and have to catch somebody like Avery Cox for your first summer of catching.
What makes it unique or different to catch an Avery Cox?
Well, her velocity, her movement, light and sharp, right? A lot of young catchers maybe aren't used to that. They're used to mostly seeing pitches that maybe don't have a lot of late, sharp movement. But I also like there, too, we caught her eyes looking at the hitter's feet. So she's very intuitive about knowing where the batter is at.
And just, you know, the little reaction time. So on top of what Michelle said, the movement, the break of her pitches, there's just so little reaction time to go down and block or react to a missed spot because she's throwing so hard. Something that when you have a lot of catching experience, it helps you react quicker.
And remember, too, in Little League, it's a 40-foot pitching distance. So in college and everywhere else, 43 feet. So you're closer to the plate. I also didn't hear about either one of you volunteering to be a catcher.
Never. I never caught. Did you ever get back behind the plate?
Very seldom, but I used to catch other pitchers a lot in pitching practice. We would have to throw back and forth to each other and like look at each other's mechanics and stuff. But no, in a game, I think I maybe caught 3 or 4 times. That was it.
3 in a row for Cox. This lineup for Texas will be facing Anna Lynn Clark, who, this is a North Carolina team that's got a deep pitching staff.
Absolutely, they do. And in fact, Anna Lynn Clark is the ace of this North Carolina team, but did not pitch earlier today because of the Little League rules. Had she thrown in that game against Canada, she wouldn't have been able to throw this game. So they were saving her against this Texas team, knowing that they needed her in the circle.
Yeah, the max you can throw is 12 innings in a day. So if they needed her there and in this full game, they wouldn't be able to pitch tomorrow. But fortunately, North Carolina is deep in the circle. So now we finally get to see Anna Lynn Clark in person. And she'll start with a big bat, Amanda, with Avery Cox. Here she is. Does she sheath the sword when she bats?
No, but you know, she does have the right. She does it in a different way,
right,
with the home run power she swings with.
And it's interesting that both of these pitchers throw a really good screwball. So Anna Lynn also throws a screwball just like Avery Cox does. She'll work a curveball, a changeup. She doesn't like to throw that changeup though until later, second maybe time through the lineup.
is very aware of what Avery Cox did at the regional, including Anna Lynn Clark. And the coaching staff for North Carolina just circling Avery Cox's name in the lineup, and you know, want her to beat you, especially with one swing. But look at that. Going inside hard to her like that.
Well, it's interesting because when you do go back and look at her home runs, obviously you were at that regional and were calling those games, but it wasn't just in one spot. She turned on the ball and hit a home run down the right field line. She went opposite field into the gap. So she's got power to all field.
And she's going to start this game with a walk.
The catcher, number 10, Jackie Rubio.
So now steps in Jackie Rubio, the catcher for this Texas team. Her dream job, FBI agent. And as you mentioned, Amanda, the number 2 pitcher on this Texas team. Oh, that hits her in the helmet. Or maybe in the back. Now you see her reach behind her shoulder. It was hard to tell from our angle whether it hit her shoulder or came off the back of her helmet, but she just pointed to that back left shoulder.
Southwest, 17, Montana.
And she is staying over at first base. And that, of course, moves Avery Cox into scoring position. For Aubrey Montez, who had 4 hits in their regional. Big fan of the TikTok.
I think there's a lot of talkers here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, her dad would be popular on TikTok because he's getting dressed up for every game that he is. He was leading the cheers. I say south, you say west, south, and then the crowd was really into it saying west. They were really loud following his lead.
I mean, I think you don't have a choice when you're that committed as a fan.
Absolutely. And it was even hotter in Waco. I mean, it was pushing triple digits in Waco, Texas at the regional, and he was still dressed up like this, very committed.
Well, and it worked, so now you can't stop doing it, right?
Absolutely.
Montez taking the change, hops it right past Clark's glove. Sophia Catarozzoli makes the toss. Runner's going to go back to third. So 2 in scoring position for Texas.
I thought about sending Avery Cox on that, and then kind of slowed her down a few steps, the third base bag.
One away for the first baseman, Kennedy White. Led them in average at the regional, hitting 500, 4 for 8. Jammed up into foul territory.
Yeah, we talked about this before with some other teams in opening day, but there were a lot of teams that had averages from the regional at about 200. So we honestly weren't expecting to see a lot of offense here. And Texas was one of those teams. They only hit 215 at the regional. Their head coach, Coach Allison Briseno, just felt like there was more in their offense, something that just wasn't really clicking. But Michelle, that was something that we heard from a lot of the teams coming into the World Series.
There's Allison Briseno, who is the Texas manager, played softball at Incarnate Word, was a leadoff hitter, a center fielder there. And also in the Incarnate Word Hall of Fame.
Let's go. See a pitch you like, drive it. Let's go, Kitty. That don't have to go, all right?
Strike 2.
Nice pitch on the outer half.
Kennedy White pops up in the infield, and over comes Chloe Braddock from third to make the catch. 2 down.
A great job by Annalyn Clark, inducing that pop-up with runners at second and third. That's a big-time pitch.
And so Allison Bersenio is going to call time here. And Jackie Rubio over at second is the catcher. And it looks like they're going to use a courtesy runner for her. So Kennedy White's the last recorded out. She can come in as a courtesy runner for the pitcher or the catcher with 2 down. And they had a choice here because Avery Cox is the pitcher and she's also on. They go with the catcher. Remember, Jackie Rubio was the one that was hit by a pitch and still favoring that left shoulder where she got hit in the first pitch of her at bat. So now Bailey Bersenio, the daughter of the manager, Allison Bersenio.
How much she's talking to herself. You got to find out. There's so many things that you start to notice more about these players, and you want to know, where did that come from? What is she saying to herself? And the longer that they stick around the tournament, the more that we can ask and kind of get some insight, because every hitter is just going to be different with their routine, and I'd love to know what she's saying to herself.
She's way off the plate.
And inside. And Bailey Bersenio's got a parent down either line right now. Her mom, Allison's in the third base coaching box. Her dad, JB, is in the first base coaching box. Annalyn Clark is ahead 1-2. That's her grandma in the stands watching on.
I think there's as many nerves in grandma's stomach as there is her granddaughter's.
Check swing on the change and firing it over. North Carolina gets out of a pressure situation. Texas leaves 2 in scoring position, and we're scoreless. Can you?
Yeah.
Some people can't.
Love it.
Isn't Little League fun?
Yes. The best.
I mean, we're not pulling out that highlight reel of the World Series, the Women's College World Series. Maybe we should.
Maybe we should, I was going to say.
It'd be fun.
First pitch, Abby Robinson crushed it. Not wasting any time to get aggressive for these North Carolina bats.
The best way to combat a strikeout pitcher is to go up swinging early in the count. That's exactly what Robinson did. You can tell she's trying to not only be on time with Avery Cox, she was a little bit early, which is a good sign with the speed that Avery Cox has, that these hitters are trying to get their barrel out in front to her speed like she did.
Yeah, that was a 61-mile-an-hour curveball that was left a little sweet. So we'll see if Avery Cox makes some adjustments on that pitch.
Avery Cox struck out the final 3 batters in the first inning. Only faced 4 in that inning. But man, Abby Robinson busting that one open. And now Scarlett Cerda, the first baseman, stepping in. Favorite movie is The Parent Trap. Cerda showing bunt. And it hits her in the box. Guys, this might be an unbelievable stat from Jeff Muir, our statistician, but the first inning of this game was the first time we've had a scoreless inning.
What?
In the World Series. Is this game 7? A scoreless first inning, excuse me.
Yeah, there's been a lot of early.
That just shows how many runs
Yeah.
been put up in that first inning.
4 strikeouts for Avery Cox.
Yeah, it's a curveball that she has a little bit of up to as well. You can see that finish about belt high and take Rubio's glove a little bit higher in the zone. Curveball for the strikeout for number 4, Avery Cox.
Peyton Bustamante. One wild will allow Abby Robinson to advance to second.
Just 2 wild pitches for Avery Cox so far. The third one is...
Robinson goes over to third.
Well, it's interesting too at this age, you know, movement pitches are good, but also being able to control the zone, command the pitches is so important. Work from ahead.
When we were talking about Rubio catching Cox, that's what makes it so difficult, right? It's easier, and I put that in air quotes, when a pitcher is throwing 64, 65, is hitting their spots, but it's one thing to set up for a curveball and then the pitch goes down and in the dirt. That's when it's really difficult as a catcher to adjust to that speed, because it all happens so fast to try to get your glove down to block it.
Yeah, getting crossed up. And to your point, Amanda, is that for young catchers, you know, being able to read your pitcher and see it out of the wrist and know when you're going to be crossed up. In other words, knowing what the pitcher's hip is early, and so on the curveball, the arm is not where it's supposed to be. You can tell immediately that pitch is not going to be on point.
Hard hit ball to Lindley Reen at short. Run comes across to score, and North Carolina takes the first lead off the bat of Peyton Bustamante.
And this is where the wild pitches hurt Avery Cox, because it is a leadoff base hit, but a couple of wild pitches advances the runner to second and then to third, and an infield ground ball ends up scoring a run.
And now Bellcox in with 2 outs, nobody on. They call her Wild Bill.
And to follow up about Rubio as well, watch how quickly Avery Cox and Rubio get the sign, and then Avery Cox is ready to pitch. So she has to give Rubio a beat to set up. So she gets it, and Avery Cox, look, she's ready to go, and Rubio is still looking down. So just you add in the mix of being new to catching and looking down at the wristband, trying to think about the pitch call and where do I set up. There's a lot going on for her back behind the plate in a game like this. Avery Cox wants to work quick, Rachel. She wants to get the sign and go as fast as she can.
I'm looking at her charts.
Yeah, Allison Bersenio calling the pitches for Avery Cox.
There it is.
And Michelle, we were talking about this in between the break as well. All of a sudden, her curveball, Cox's curveball, is just missing low and in pretty consistently. You'll see Rubio set up, and we know that Cox's best pitch is going to be her curveball, but these pitches are going low and in the zone. She's not hitting her spots. Her hip is getting in the way, and that's another missed pitch over the heart of the plate there, like it.
And Bellcox takes it past the second baseman, and North Carolina has its second hit of the inning.
It's just a great job of Bellcox taking advantage of a 2-strike mistake. You can see that Rubio is set up well on the outside corner, in fact, in the left-handed batter's box, but that ball out of the hand of Cox gets caught behind her hip and goes right down the heart of the plate. And Cox, good piece of 2-strike hitting, ready to go and use the opposite side of the field.
Well, and because she is right-handed, hitting that pitch on the outer half, it actually plays into her swing, being able to let that, with the velocity, let that ball travel and take it the opposite way.
And Maricchio is going to swing at something way upstairs from Avery Cox. Favorite food, cookies for Emma. Great choice. Avery Cox jumping ahead, 0-2 with 2 down and a runner on.
She was really amped up in the first inning, hitting 64, 65. She's kind of, we're going to run 61, 63 here max, I think, that we've seen here in the second.
Again, one of the highest velos that we'll probably see in this tournament.
But consistently on that outside pitch to righties has been missing back into the middle of the plate. Pitch, we like to say, it's leaking back into the zone. You always want to miss in the direction of your pitch. So if you're pitching to the outer half, you want to miss more to the outer half, not back on to the inner part of the plate.
Especially in a 2-strike count, like the hit that she gave up to Belle Cox.
I like seeing her guys take that deep breath in between pitches. Goes back to the back of the circle, turns around, closes her eyes. 2-2 to Riccio.
North Carolina is doing a great job of handling her speed early in this game. First time through, seeing her speed, and that's something that we've seen with a lot of the World Series teams' offense is not being overwhelmed by speed here at the World Series. The offenses have been prepared for 60+ miles an hour.
Couple of days, but right now things looking pretty good. And North Carolina just took first lead of this ball game. The kids from Carolina playing their second game of the day. They already beat Canada earlier today. Emily Trevino is going to lead off the third baseman for Texas against Anna Lynn Clark.
Well, in Pitt County and Rowan County were inspirations for this Little League team that actually made it as a host team to win the state tournament, make their first appearance from their Little League in the Little League Softball World Series. So it's cool to see the Pitt County out here supporting them, coming out to take it all in.
Yeah, the state of North Carolina actually has 2 opportunities to make the World Series. You win the state tournament, you're automatically in because North Carolina is the host of the World Series. But if you don't win that, you go on to the Southeast Regional in Warner Robins, Georgia, and you can win there and make it to the World Series. So there's been cases, we've had 2 North Carolina teams. And it's a little confusing.
It is, I was going to just say, it can be confusing.
Not this year, though, just 1.
That's right.
Well, Johnston County has had a Little League since 1993, but first chartered a softball side of that in 2023. So it took a little while for them to get softball going, but having the World Series here in Greenville, seeing it on TV, and the success of the North Carolina programs from other parts of the state inspired them to start up the softball and be able to be here for their first appearance.
And with it being so close, most of them have been here attending games. Nice piece of hitting from Emily Trevino out to left field, and that's a nice leadoff there for Texas. This Johnston County Little League team, they won the North Carolina State tournament, but that was back on July 9th. That was their last game, so they've made sure to scrimmage. They scrimmaged some older teams. Their last 7 games, guys, they've outscored opponents 109-4.
Yeah, they've been rolling. Did not give up a run in that regional tournament.
Well, this team returned 6 players from last year's team that their season got cut short. They felt like they could get here, but they unfortunately didn't make it in 2025. They felt like that was a special group, but fell short. Felt like they were a little bit young last year, but this group has been hungry from the beginning to make it here because of that.
Peyton Olivares. Foul ball. Now with North Carolina's opportunity, the winner of this one gets a break and will play Florida on Thursday. The loser plays Washington tomorrow at 10 a.m.
And then Clark trying to use a curveball in the outer half.
Strikeout, the first one today for Anna Lynn Clark. Oh, she's just throwing a little sword action over there? And she's laughing
and
about
she's giggling.
That's fantastic. We've seen Avery Clark do her strikeout celebration. Avery Cox, excuse me, with the sword. Love it. You can follow these amazing kids as they experience their own Little League World Series adventure. You can download the Little League World Series app, watch highlights, photos, schedules, and more available in the App Store for Apple and Android devices.
Last strikeout had a little bit of up movement to it, and their manager, Ben Caterzoli, had told us a lot of people think that Annalyn Clark has a rise ball. It's actually not a rise ball that's being called, but just some natural up movement with her fastball that gets some swings and misses underneath it up in the zone.
This is Bailey Cox at the plate, who is the younger sister of Avery Cox, the pitcher for Texas. And actually names Avery as the person she looks up to the most.
There's that pitch again.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Annalyn.
Is that a baby sword? It's hard to tell. She kind of like
Is a dagger.
yes. And you can see this is that upspin. That almost does look like a little bit of a rise ball. It's a
Yeah.
nice pitch. She plates it right down the middle. And then, is this a baby sword? Like, don't tell me that. Cute.
I love she's having fun with that.
Shortstop Lindley Reen, who, as she told us, can turn her tongue into a taco. Clark ahead, 0-2. Struck out the last two batters that she faced. And make it 3. Catherine Utek up at the plate, takes a big cut at Avery Cox's first pitch. Special talent, hacky sack. Do we feel like hacky sack's dying a little bit, or we still see it pretty prevalent at softball
I
tournaments?
think it's a good pre-game like time filler. Like back in the day when I played, it was always a little bit of pickle or pepper or, you know, just something. And then the hacky sack showed up.
We might have needed that yesterday when we sat here for 3 hours in the booth
right.
and did nothing.
I don't know if we would have had the room to get it in,
we could
but I
make
think
it
we
work.
could have made it work. And I think hacky sack is still pretty prevalent.
Yes.
You see it pre-game.
See it in college ball a lot.
Avery Cox putting the sword away. 2 strikeouts in a row. Make it 6 for the day.
And working this pitch on the outer half. Looks like it's supposed to have a little bit more up to it, but pitch on the outside corner, and you can just see the velocity on that pitch. Great job by Rubio behind there to make the catch. 6th strikeout of the game for Cox.
Campbell Swearingen up at the plate now, the center fielder, and that one wild gets away from Cox. Oh, it's stuck in the fence. There we go. Throwing some heat.
That's right. That took Rubio a bit to figure out that sign. But I want to mention something that you said earlier, Courtney, is that 63, 64 miles an hour, again from 40 feet though, that's the equivalent of about 66, 67 miles an hour at the collegiate level. So some pretty good velocity for Avery Cox right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like North Carolina, again, has just done a really good job of handling it, staying calm, not getting ahead of themselves, not guessing. It's really easy to feel like you have to start your swing and maybe even swing just through her motion and get going. But they've really just kind of let her pitches come to them and had good eyes at the plate, even with this velocity.
I'm wondering, on the travel ball side, because most of these girls play travel ball, is that more normal to see that velo coming from a pitcher? Like, has that helped them on this stage facing Avery Cox?
I mean, it's still really good velocity. I wouldn't say it's normal. I think it's above average.
Yeah, you might see some other pitchers throw and travel ball like that, but it really is very above average velocity for her age.
Full count coming to Campbell Swearingen. And she will draw that walk. Man, she's fired up.
All these base runners matter. She's yet to have a 3-up, 3-down inning despite getting quick outs here and there. She's had the leadoff hitter get on in the first 2 innings and getting 2 quick outs here with strikeouts. And North Carolina finding a way to get on base and make her pitch more in that circle. That was awesome for them because a lot of their favorite teams and players were on that Blaze team with that Carolina connection.
And some AUSL players will be here tomorrow. There is an AUSL Pro game happening here in Greenville on a Wednesday night that all these Little Leaguers will get the chance to go to at 7 Eastern. You can see it on ESPN2. It'll be happening over at the East Carolina Stadium. And Zoe Cavazos leading off and chasing a pitch upstairs. Anna Lynn Clark struck out the last 3 batters she faced in that second inning. Only faced 3 or 4 hitters.
Can you imagine how nervous she was pitching in front of 2 AUSL teams in North Carolina at Duke, in front of all of her teammates? I would have been incredibly nervous. I guess it was Anna who caught it. I forgot who caught it, but oh my gosh, I just would have been a mess throwing out the first pitch like she had to do.
You've thrown out first pitches before.
Yeah.
Do you warm up for it?
I did the first time and it didn't go great. So the second time, I'm like, I'm not warming up. I'm just going out and doing it.
Hey, Anna Lynn's just struck out 4 in a row now.
Right fielder, 16, Esmeralda.
Anna Lynn Clark using a pitch. It looks like it also was supposed to be on the outer half, kind of leaks back into the zone, but she gets a strikeout looking. 4th in a row. She's on a roll.
Michelle, do you warm up when you throw a first pitch out?
I've done it both ways, just as Amanda
How
said.
did it go?
It went good.
Cuevas over to Riccio at short, and Emma Riccio makes the play. Well, we mentioned it, professional softball is returning to Greenville, North Carolina for the 2026 AUSL Pro Game presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. It's set to take place on Wednesday. You can learn more at littleleague.org/athletesunlimited. It's at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Zelia Montemayor swings through the first pitch. Love it.
Johnson County boys here to support the North Carolina girls. I'm guessing that's what that stands for,
Yeah.
right? The JC.
The Johnson County is the Little League that this North Carolina team represents.
Anna Lynn Clark is finding a groove, Michelle, with this pseudo rise ball. It's not supposed to be called a rise ball, but it is a rise ball that is definitely getting major swings and misses.
There she goes. An 8-pitch inning for Anna Lynn Clark.
Of the Oklahoma softball team this upcoming season. We saw her play here at the World Series representing the Southwest region in Oklahoma. Hit a couple of home runs on this field. A left-handed power hitter that has made her way to Oklahoma, and we will see her this year.
There have been a lot of elite athletes. Catherine Sandercock played for a team. Jackie Trena out of Florida, who played at Alabama.
Was it Carly Hoover, too?
Yes, Carly Hoover as well, in the Clemson area. So it really, when you go back and look, there have been a lot of athletes that have played Little League. Gone on, of course, played travel ball, but then collegiate ball, now professional. It's just great to see.
I don't know if it makes me feel old that we're going to see Goose playing in college, or top of the order for North Carolina, Sophie Cataruzzoli, who led off the game with a single, is up.
And I love that her favorite softball players, Jada Coleman, but her favorite team is the Carolina Blaze.
Yeah, one time she got a birthday shout out from Jada Coleman.
Really?
Yes. What a present. Right into the glove of Lindley Reen, who was ready to rock with those sunnies on.
I always like the way that Reen gets ready for the pitch. She is constantly in her ready position, moving toward the pitch, or just I don't know. I feel like she just has this kind of intuition as a shortstop for where the ball is about to go. She kind of moves certain ways. There's just something about her at shortstop.
Well, and look at where she's playing now. She is like the extra shortstop. I mean, she is like almost up where the third baseman is.
A shorty shortstop.
Exactly.
And Parker Mortensen facing Avery Cox.
Especially when you think about where Briseño is playing at second base. The middle infielders, usually they're not this disproportionate. Usually they're either both playing back or both playing in.
And Lindley, I love the fact that she still is backing up behind her pitcher when the throw's coming back from the catcher.
Through the 5-6 hole goes Parker Mortensen, turns the corner, but going back to first base. North Carolina trying to add to its lead.
Actually, look at these mechanics of Mortensen slapping and going up to get that pitch, keeping her barrel above a pitch up in the zone and be able to slap it to the left side. That is more of a power slap, and there is the sword situation offensively once you get to a base for North Carolina, giving it right back to Avery Cox in the circle.
I love this little
Gamesmanship
yeah,
back and
right.
forth.
That one gets away from first. If you're just tuning into this game, Avery Cox will do a motion like she's sheathing a sword after a strikeout, and we've started to see North Carolina do the same thing a little bit when they have a big play. Kensley Godwin struck out last time she faced Avery Cox. Runners going, and Godwin's got a hit. Mortensen looking for third. She gets down and slides in safely. Godwin to second.
This North Carolina team, they also talked about that they were going to be aggressive. A lot of the coaches have talked about that, and just a good job of hitting, getting this ball going the opposite way.
Yeah, it looked like Mortensen running on the pitch, so a little hit-run action allows Mortensen to go first to third. Good base running by Mortensen, who got on with her speed as a slapper and just did that power slap toward the left side. You know, she's got some speed, and now North Carolina in business to try to extend this lead.
Yeah, and Godwin, a good job of seeing the throw go to third, trying to get Mortensen, so she follows up and gets to second.
One drops away from Rubio, but she's right there. Runners will hold. Chloe Braddock is at the dish right now.
This is why the at-bats the first time through against Avery Cox were so important. Despite striking out 6 times, they really did a good job of fouling off pitches, making her work deeper into innings and deeper into counts, and not just letting her dominate at bats. To her now, second time through the order, a little bit more tired. She's thrown over 60 pitches at this point. They've gotten looks off of her, and she's also not throwing the speed that she was in the first inning when she had that adrenaline running and she was hitting up to 65.
It's already won once today. They were supposed to play yesterday against Canada, but rain forced that game to earlier today at 9 a.m. and they got the win 16-4.
They've been troopers. You would have never known with the energy that they're bringing to this 6 p.m. game that they were up probably at 6 a.m. wake up call, get up to the field early for that 9 a.m. game.
Well, the other thing is that this is a North Carolina team that has other pitchers that can throw from. There's been a couple of clubs here that rely on one ace, and North Carolina used a couple of pitchers earlier against Canada because they knew they had this massively tough matchup against Texas, and they were going to need their ace in the circle for it.
Yeah, this is a North Carolina team that has 6 pitchers that can throw 55 plus. They use 5 pitchers in district and state. Blakely Escalara is at the plate.
Just love the fun that Annalyn Clark is having out in the circles. So many smiles. I mean, every game that she pitches from here on out, is going to be the biggest game that she's pitched in her career. But to smile like that in a tight game and just continue to pitch her best, even getting her sixth strikeouts first time through for Annalyn Clark.
And you can see this pitch on the outer half. It's got some good late movement. She induces the swing and miss, and she's kind of doing a little sort of The smile, though, is amazing.
Well, we got the battle of the swords right here because Avery Cox is up facing Annalyn Clark.
She wanted that first pitch.
Yeah, she did.
Big hack. She knows she just missed it, slapped her bat down after just missing that curveball working in. And Annalyn Clark has not been scared to go inside to Avery Cox, the home run hitter.
Yeah, she hit 3 home runs in regionals. You can't forget that. And certainly the pitchers won't in this tournament. And that was a bigger field too, Amanda, like the one we have here. Here in Greenville, it's 200 to all fields.
Yeah, you had to get all of it to hit it out at that field. And same thing here. I mean, 200 to left, center, and right. You got to barrel it up and be on time with one to get it out of here. And you have to be really strong.
I think last year, was it, we saw 2 home runs last year at the World Series. Haven't had one just yet here this year.
Still plenty of time left.
Yeah. Avery Cox, deep. Don't have to wait anymore. You want a home run? We'll give you a home run, says Avery Cox.
Wow.
Double sword. Let's go.
Avery Cox is a superstar. We've seen her in the circle in this game, but look at with the bat. This is an elevated pitch, and she gets all into it. You can see the arch in her back, the way she barrels this up and goes opposite field, front foot down. You can just tell the launch angle off of this, Amanda. And not only did it clear the front fence, it went over the back deeper fence. And you can see the celebration ensues around the bases.
They waved at it. Teammates, they waved at it when she crossed home plate. But you guys, we have to really put this into perspective for people. We rarely see home runs at this field. Seeing 4 home runs in regionals and World Series in the 4 or 5 games that she played is unheard of with her power.
So get this, we moved to North Carolina for this tournament in 2021. And that, what you just saw, that home run, was just the 6th outside the park home run we've had on this field.
Wow. Yeah, she's a special talent.
And Annalyn Clark is going to come right back with a strikeout. Can we see the home run again?
Yeah, we have to. I mean, this swing and the extension was unbelievably beautiful, but the reaction from Annalyn Clark of like, whoa.
You know what? Sometimes you tip your cap, man.
Look at that, trying to take the smile off, and then this reaction back and forth. This is so much fun.
I don't know what I loved more, the double sword.
Double sword, yeah.
I mean, that was pretty amazing. Corn everywhere.
Well, and then the strikeout after giving up the home run by Annalyn Clark.
Oh, that one bounces off of Annalyn Clark's leg off the back of Aubrey Montez. And she's going to reach. So the thumbs up from the umpires. Annalyn Clark just trying to walk this off, and out comes the manager and the training staff here at Little League. It's just a hard hit ball back to her. This smile on her face.
She's a trooper. Just a competitor. But you mentioned it, Amanda. Just you can tell she loves to pitch. She enjoys
Yes.
it.
And I love to watch her pitch.
Yeah.
When you love to do something, you make other people love to watch you do it. And with Annalyn Clark, the joy that she has, the fun that she has, even after giving up a home run, even after getting hit with a line drive, that hurts. I'm pretty sure she got hit on her shin.
Yeah.
Like, that hurts no matter what, no matter who's hitting it.
So the single from Aubrey Montez means the go-ahead run for Texas is at first, with Kennedy White at the plate, who was 4 for 8 in their regional.
Well, it's interesting, too, because Annalyn Clark has a very good changeup as well. And they talk about that they don't like to show it until second time through the lineup. We haven't really seen it, but I would say it's probably a pitch she needs to start pitching here, using here at the bottom of the fourth, second time through.
And Maricchio fields this at short. And
Bases loaded, the intensity. She comes back. She's like, I'm getting these last 2 outs to get out of this jam myself. And then we're down a run. I'm going to put a run up on the board myself. I mean, you can just tell she's taking control of her team's destiny.
you know, one of her favorite players, guys, Jordy Fromm, who's a two-way player, just like Avery Cox is, and just as intense, right?
Yes.
Got that swagger.
It's important to have in the circle.
Jordy Fromm, a national champion at Oklahoma, and then at Nebraska, taking her team to the World Series. Bustamante hops this one into right, and she's aboard.
It's a big answer back. We keep seeing these answer back.
It's supposed to be a curveball, and it doesn't really move a whole lot, but Bustamante, yeah, this is great hitting. This is a North Carolina team that now knows they have to answer. Drives that ball the opposite way, so leadoff hit here in the 5th inning.
All right, Tyler, here we go.
North Carolina took the lead in the 2nd inning, and we saw Texas respond in the bottom of the 4th inning with that solo home run from Avery Cox. Bellcox trying to lay down the bunt. It goes foul. There's a single in the 2nd inning for Bellcox, who they called Wild Bill because of her southern accent.
Well, Cox is also a very good pitcher, but she's so good at first base. This North Carolina team has said, hey, we need you at first. We've got other good pitchers. Now trying to put the bunt down.
Ooh. Runner hesitating. Dives back into first.
And hesitation from Rubio back behind the plate too, as Brasenio was trying to make her way to first base, and they had a chance to get an out right there with Bustamante and how far off the back that she was.
2 strikes.
Got those fingers just around the foot. Ah, I was wondering, I could look like the hand was on the foot. She was trying to reach around. Oh, and
Wait, or is it obstruction?
Oh, they're giving her second base because of that obstruction call, right?
Which I could see obstruction to not give her the out, but to give her second base.
oh, that's her hand hit the back of the foot.
But she didn't have room to return to first? Is that what the call is?
You can see her dive back, and that she's reaching to try to get around the foot.
Is Kennedy White blocking the plate?
Yeah, her foot definitely is before she has possession of the ball. I think I'm confused of why she gets second base on a first base obstruction when she's headed back to first base.
Oh, right. Avery Cox is going to come back with the strikeout.
The shortstop, number 10, Emma Riccio.
Cox yet again coming up with a big strikeout in a pressure situation.
Now the shortstop, Emma Riccio, with the go-ahead run at second.
Well, every 60 feet matters so much in this game, and we're getting late in the game. We only play 6 innings, so the fact that Bustamante was able to get herself into scoring position in that play, despite a couple of times being so far off of first base and Texas feeling like they had a chance to get her out. Now she is in scoring position, may have a chance to score with something in the outfield.
And we have seen Cox throw in a few wild pitches that have allowed runners to advance on the base paths.
Oh, that's how North Carolina scored that first run. 2 wild pitches put her in the scoring position.
Emma Riccio, solid piece of hitting. Runner coming around the third. They got her. No, she's safe at first. Runners on the corners right now for North Carolina.
Oh, this is a good job hitting the opposite way. This ball shot through the 3-4 hole. And a nice play over at first base, but I'm surprised here North Carolina doesn't try to score when the throw goes to first instead of to home. And so you can see, great piece of hitting by Emma, and she beats that out to be safe at first.
Well, notice, team, how shallow the right fielder was, especially compared to the center fielder, who's just about 10 feet from the warning track. So she was able to get a good beat on it. If she was playing deep, I think they maybe would have gone. But you're right about the throw going to first base. Some hesitation keeps the run from scoring.
Well, the go-ahead run is 60 feet away right now for Anna Lynn Clark at the plate, the pitcher for North Carolina.
Well, you know that this matchup here, pitcher versus pitcher, feels a little bit different with the fact that Avery Cox just hit a home run off of Anna Lynn Clark. And now Anna Lynn Clark has the opportunity to do some damage against Cox.
Struck out the last time she faced Avery Cox.
Play a little small ball. Run across. And it'll be interesting too if they decide to move the runner at first into second, first and third situation. Challenge the defense a little bit. Challenge Rubio behind the dish. Well, and this is situation 2. The middle infielders for Texas pulled into the hole, so second base is wide open.
Good save by Rubio, but the runner's going to advance, so it's 2 in scoring position.
Yeah, and that's smart. You could tell that Texas was giving second base away to North Carolina just based on their defensive positioning.
Two coming to Clark from Avery Cox.
What a good 2-strike swing to get rid of that pitch against a strikeout pitcher. That is not easy at all. Avery Cox has 9 strikeouts in this game, and with 2 strikes, you could easily panic and get nervous with 2 strikes, especially late in this game. But Anna Lynn Clark, who did strike out in her last at bat, battling here with 2 strikes. Important to know that Avery Cox doesn't really throw a changeup. We talked about it with Anna Lynn Clark in the circle. She throws it every now and then, but Avery Cox, she's just really all speed. It's a pitch that she's just continuing to work on and doesn't necessarily feel very comfortable throwing in games.
Yeah, and that's the one pitch that she is missing a little bit, and I think the more that she works on that, again, young, 13 years old, you work on that pitch, it would really add.
On the 7th pitch, she strikes her out. They check the runner at third. She is safe. And that's Avery Cox's 4th strikeout with a runner on third base tonight.
Yeah, and her 10th of the game, and that is just a great pitch. A lot of late sharp movement. So this one's going to climb up a little bit. It's on the outer half. She'd been working that curveball was a little lower, but that one has some up to it. Big 10th strikeout of the game.
Catherine Utek. First pitch strike from Avery Cox. She struck out Utek in the third.
In fact, almost all of her strikeouts have come with runners on base, all but 2. She's stepped up.
Making 11 Ks. Bailey Bersinio. Did just call that a strike.
She made the bunt attempt and never pulled her bat back, so it'll go down as a strike against her. And that is, well, you see the poor tears in her eyes and the pain that she's probably feeling. Have to stay in the box and do it all over again.
Girls are tough. We saw a couple of collisions in the earlier game with North Carolina and Canada. And these young ladies, they bounce back. They want to be out on that field.
Bailey Bersinio, the youngest on this Texas team.
And she just recently moved over to be a slapper, just like her mom. Coach at third base and manager of this team. Remember, she played in Incarnate Word. So Bersinio, very technical to learn slapping and has very good fundamental form. Let her calm herself down after getting hit.
That's a good take, too, because that's a pitch that's borderline lower part of the zone. Good read on it.
And Annalyn Clark is going to ring her up for her 8th strikeout.
This up in the zone has just been so effective for Annalyn Clark. I mean, it is moving, late break, thrown at a perfect height too. Not too low, not too high. Annalyn Clark with her 8th strikeout of the game.
Emily Trevino, single to lead off the 2nd inning.
And I love that Annalyn Clark loves Carlin Pickens. She also loves Montana Fouts. I mean, you talk about 2 of the best pitchers in the game, and there she's out dealing herself.
Well, and Annalyn Clark had 14 strikeouts in the state championship game to help North Carolina get here. She is a big game pitcher as well. That's what you can feel this pitcher's duel. I mean, both of these pitchers have learned what it feels like to pitch under pressure, to pitch in games with a ton of meaning, to feel what it feels like to have the ball in their hand in these really big moments at such a young age.
That's ball 4. It'll put Trevino on. Well, the go-ahead run for Texas at first base. They have not led tonight.
Boy, and that's just the first walk since the first batter of the game. So Annalyn Clark settling in has been very good. Controlling the zone.
Peyton Olivares trying to move her teammate with a bunt.
Annalyn Clark has been so good that Texas hasn't even had opportunities with runners in scoring position besides that first inning that you mentioned after the leadoff walk and hit by pitch.
Yeah, and that's it. They haven't had a runner in scoring position, as you mentioned. They had obviously the home run, but she's been stellar. Keeping up. It's hard to keep up when you see a pitcher like Avery Cox, you know, getting out of pressure situations. And see both these pitchers just really hone their crafts in the circle.
Second strikeout in this inning for Annalyn Clark. She's up to 9.
Center fielder, number 8, Bailey Cox.
Pitch, a little bit of up, a little bit of out. I just love that late sharp movement. Every once in a while I see Godwin's glove back there. It gives a little bit extra. I'm like, oh, I hope that glove hangs in there.
Foul ball by Bailey Cox.
She just has this way about her of after she gives up something, a walk, a hit, she comes right back and gets the next hitter out.
Yeah.
Such an important quality to learn at a young age.
She's ahead 0-2 on Bailey Cox. Slow roller to Braddock at third, fires it across the field, and our
Jan, she hits a home run out of the park to tie things up, but then she got tested again in the fifth.
And what did she do? How about a couple strikeouts to get out of the jam with runners at second and third? 2 big strikeouts. Avery Cox has just been outstanding tonight, but this entire summer.
that home run, the 6th here at this park since we moved over to this park from Portland in 2021. And her 4th home run in the last 5 games. And right now she's trying to make sure these North Carolina bats don't do any more damage. Remember, we play 6 innings in Little League. Texas wants the opportunity to walk this thing off in the bottom of the inning. Here's at Campbell Swearingen. It'll be 12, 13, and 1 due up for North Carolina. Remember, everybody on the roster bats in Little League.
Well, and Swearingen has been a tough out. Earlier in the game, 2 walks. Today, a walk. So she's not giving in to any pitcher that she's going up against. And hopefully Avery Cox has an awareness about that, hey, I need to pound the zone. I can't mess around here and let this leadoff hitter get on via a walk and see the top of the lineup with runners on base.
Well, it's advantage hitter right now. 2-0 count. 3-0 count.
Yeah, and if I'm Cox right now, she just needs to be drilling that ball right down the middle. See what the catcher Rubio's set up. Tries to pull it back in, gets the call on the 3-0 count.
In fact, if I'm Rubio, I don't even know if I'm setting up on the outside corner. I think I'm staying put and just be like, hit me here, play catch with me right down the heart of the plate and make Swearingen swing the bat and put the ball in play.
Full count now to Swearingen. And that's ball 4. Swearingen just staying disciplined at the plate. She walks for the 2nd time in this game. Well, tonight it's Major League Baseball on ESPN as the Rangers host the Giants, 8 p.m. Eastern, and also streaming on the ESPN app. We've got one more Little League game for you coming up tonight. Connecticut and Kentucky are still set to play. Katie Strop up at the plate with the go-ahead run. Still at first. Swearingen dives back in.
The production 1 through 13 for this North Carolina team just really stands out to me. Every single player in the state tournament scored a run. All but one player got a hit. All but 2 players had RBIs, and we've seen that today as well in their game against Canada.
Yeah, 12 of 13 reached. Yeah.
Runner going, and it hops out to center. Swearingen safely at second. That was just strike 2. So Strop's going to come back.
The fans love that she gets another chance too. That was a big applause that she's back in the box.
Good eye by Katie Strop not to chase that pitch down in the zone. This is a big at-bat.
That is strike 3 and strikeout number 12 for Avery Cox.
And that's big because it's a non-productive out for this North Carolina team. It keeps the runner at second base, doesn't allow her to advance. So Avery Cox again understanding. But now the top of the lineup up for North Carolina with the runner in scoring position.
Yeah, Sophie Catalrizzoli will be up for the 3rd time. She got a single to start the game off of Avery Cox. That one hops around from Rubio, runner to 3rd. Go-ahead run 60 feet away.
I hope the umpire is okay. You know he's feeling it. 60+ miles an hour hitting off of him because Rubio missed that pitch. So they're going to check on him, make sure he's okay. Just try to give him a second.
Runner advancing on the pass ball.
And this is where Jackie Rubio needs to be an absolute wall. In this situation, tie game, game on the line, look for a little short game action with the top of the lineup and the speed, putting pressure on the corners, putting pressure on Rubio and Cox to make a decision and make a play. And she's got to be a wall back behind the plate.
Catalrizzoli laying down the bunt, trying to get squeezed the runner home, and Avery Cox applies the tag.
That is a great play.
Saves the go-ahead run.
So North Carolina trying to be a little bit sneaky, but look at the way Avery Cox immediately sees this ball down, is going to grab it, knows that it's a suicide squeeze, and makes the tag. Reminds me of Odyssey Alexander.
Yes.
For JMU.
At the Women's College World Series, and Odyssey will be here tomorrow at the pro game, be competing on Wednesday, but we saw her play just like this. And great job of Avery Cox anticipating the short game like we were just talking about. She has such a good game IQ and awareness of the situation.
Parker Mortensen now, runner going to second. Safe. So once again, North Carolina's got the go-ahead run in scoring position. Mortensen had a single in the 4th inning. Just out of reach of Emily Trevino.
Nice effort. You can tell. You can tell how important this moment is, how important this game is.
Is this the championship game? Because it feels like it, but we're only at Monday, and the championship game is all the way on Sunday.
Okay.
So, still got a ways to go.
0-2 to Mortensen from Avery Cox. Mortensen looking for the grass. She finds it. Runner coming home, and North Carolina is ahead once again.
Pitch up in the zone, and Mortensen's just going to slap through it and gets it to drop just inside the line. That ball coming down, you could see it had eyes, 2 outs, and North Carolina going on any contact scores the go-ahead run here in the 6th inning.
Mortensen in the 2 spot. She was hitting in the 6 spot earlier today against Canada. They moved her up, and I think they're glad they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, think about, speaking of that game, 2 completely different games for this North Carolina team. They've won 16-4 against Canada to start the day, and now playing in this pitcher's duel tight game later on.
Kinsley Godwin up now against Cox. She's got Mortensen at second.
This is why it's just so important to try to put the ball in play with runners on, and why Avery Cox has been so good, because with runners in scoring position, the big moments, she's been able to get the big strikeout, prevent them from putting the ball in play. But having a ball that has eyes like that, Michelle, it just makes things happen and puts pressure on the defense for Texas to make a play.
Yeah, and credit to North Carolina for stealing bases. 2 very important steals, getting runners into scoring position there at second base, forcing the hand, really putting the pressure on this Texas team.
Godwin hits it over to Reen at short and beats out the throw. It's runners on the corners.
Again, just putting the ball in play. It doesn't every single time have to be something flashy, a barreled up ball, squared up the home run. These are actually missed hits, but it just creates chaos on the infield, in the outfield, and North Carolina keeping things going with a chance to score more, which would be massive going to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Remember, this is a North Carolina team that through district and state outscored their opponents 93-0. They have the offense. You are seeing it here, stringing hits together. Chloe Braddock. Remember, 6-inning game in Little League, so any more runs that North Carolina can bring across would be crucial, because Texas will have the final say.
Well, they'll have 9, 10, and 11 in their order coming up. They bat 13. Avery Cox would be the next hitter after that. Trying to get her up in the inning. Got a ways to go.
Runner takes second.
3 stolen bases in this inning alone for North Carolina.
Runners on that second and third for Chloe Braddock. 1-2 coming from Avery Cox.
Just awesome at-bats in this inning by North Carolina. Think about that it was Swearingen that got this rally going with the leadoff walk and just an incredible at-bat.
Outside for ball 3. They'll check the runner at third. Avery Cox has turned it up when the pressure has been on tonight. Can she do it again with a full count, 2 on and 2 out? Yes, she can.
And these hitters to chase a little bit out of the zone. Been very effective. And it's very effective in a situation like this too, in a bunt situation, because you're trying to get the bunter to hopefully pop up, and you can do that by throwing it more up in the zone.
As a pitcher, you're looking for something up in the air, non-productive out, right? Just get that out, keep that runner at first. And on the flip side, if you're Texas, you're just trying to get the ball down on the dirt somewhere to move your teammate up 60 feet. So now with 2 strikes, you're probably not going to be asked to bunt, but your job is still to move your teammate up.
And Zoe Cavazos do that. The only run for Texas has come off the only home run so far of the World Series from Avery Cox. And we saw Anna Lynn Clark just tip her cap to that swing. Trying to get the pitch call from the dugout. 2-2. Anna Lynn Clark is now in double figures with 10 strikeouts.
And this is a massive strikeout.
Perfectly placed at the knees. Seemed to me like she took a little bit off of that, but maybe it was just deceptive.
Very deceptive, and I think she did take a little bit off of that. Great location. Most importantly, the non-productive out that North Carolina was looking for.
Esmeralda Cuevas. Runner going. Rain getting down. Tag applied, and Kensley Godwin fires it down. Her pitcher is all about it right now.
And look at the little thumbs up at the end of this. But this is an outstanding throw. She gets up and just rifles it down. Really good tag applied. Huge second out of this inning to cut the runner down.
And Texas down to its final out. With Cuevas at the dish. And Cuevas wants to call time and talk to her manager, Allison Briseño.
Strong mentally, okay? I believe in you. All you gotta do is put that ball in play, all right? Let's go, come on.
There's so much pressure here. You have played all summer to get to this moment, and you're facing the best teams from around the nation, from around the world.
Yes, in front of a lot of people. The biggest crowd that these players have ever played in front of.
Oh, and the crowd wanted that call. Nothing but smiles, though, for Anna Lynn Clark.
She's been so strong in the circle, rebounding. lot of tense situations.
And it's going to be a walk for Cuevas, hanging in there.
Well, and this is what these hard, difficult moments are all about as a softball player, and what a sport can teach you. Cuevas was crying in that at-bat to Coach Brasino. She calls timeout, calms her down, reminds her that she can do it, and has the patience to draw a walk, even despite crying, to get herself to first base.
And she represents the tying run now at first for Zelia Montemayor, who takes the cut at the first pitch.
It's a good swing right there by Montemayor.
Brings up her 11th batter, and North Carolina wins an absolute gem of a game. Two wins today for the kids from Carolina.
A lot of local support. How about North Carolina, 4th consecutive 2-0 start at this Little League World Series. Pretty impressive talent here in the state. But what a